As a developmental psychologist, I look at, how things affect children's emotional security, because they're developing, a sense of emotional security in the family and with their parents is very much connected with their mental and physical health. So if a child feels insecure, feels threatened, or is just worried about the support they can count on from their parents, it affects their stress response system. And it releases stress hormones into the system. And those are harmful to both mental and physical health in the immediate time period and also decades later. So when we look at children who are experiencing shared parenting, when we look at children who are experiencing high levels of parent conflict, essentially what we see is that equal parenting time seems to buffer children against these threats to their emotional security, and the implications for long-term public health are really enormous. If we can, avoid children having to experience this threatening emotional security and the consequences of it. We find that it really is equal parenting time. So for the child's relationship with the father or the mother, if she's with both parents, their long-term security of relationship with each parent is at its height at equal parenting time. And their ability to handle parent conflict, even if they're in a high conflict situation, is better at equal parenting time. So now that more and more parents are doing it, we're able to do enough research and find enough families who are sharing parenting time that we can see the benefits of that. The study that we have in the works right now and is being written up is a very powerful one, because it uses state-of-the-art methodology to actually focus in on causal effects of parenting time on parent-child relationships. So without going into too much detail, we have a longitudinal study, and we are able to really identify as strong as you can a causal process whereby changes in the child's time with father after divorce impacts the father-child relationship. The big question in all of this research has always been that, maybe it's the, quote, good fathers, and maybe it's the, quote, sort of emotionally healthy children who are the ones who are having shared parenting time, and that's why they look like they're doing better. But with this new methodology, we're able to, essentially separate out or control for the father's personality and the child's personality, and then look at the actual, what really seems to be the causal impact of changes in time with dad affecting and impacting the later father-child relationship. So for example, a family might start out with, they might start out with a certain amount of parenting time, but in the next year or two, maybe one parent moves away, or maybe one parent gets remarried, or maybe the child's parenting time with dad increases, or maybe it decreases. And what we're able to see is that directly related to those fluctuations in parenting time are the next year or two corresponding fluctuations in the child's relationship with the father. So it's very, very powerful. It's the most, it's the strongest type of evidence we can get in an area of social science research where you can't do a controlled randomized experiment, and the data are absolutely clear that changes in parenting time affect the father-child relationship. And I think here's how it works, right? If the child stops seeing dad after a divorce, for whatever reason, the child, especially when they're younger, question whether dad doesn't want to see me, right? And that sets up this chronic stress reaction, which, you know, we can see it happening where the child feels less emotionally secure with father, and we know that sort of under the skin is the stress response system, releasing stress hormones that then affect the child's health, affect the child's immune. This is the next study, which is will be a very, very powerful demonstration of the importance of maintaining equal time with both parents after divorce. And this would work the same way with mothers.
Yes.
It's not just about fathers. A very important thing that we find is that as parenting time increases up to equal parenting time, we see a strengthening of the father-child relationship and no deterioration in the mother-child relationship. It's a very powerful, effect on gender equality because it frees both parents to be able to, focus on their careers and their jobs without having to be a full-time single parent. So it has real benefits. A lot of people are realizing that it has real benefits toward promoting gender equality in the workplace.